Coming up on Tech Tonight, Rand Paul won the Conservative Political Action Conference.
And a new study suggests that sleep is linked to strokes. Find out the details next.
Welcome to Tech Tonight. I'm Carly Gillespie.
And I'm Becky Schumar.
2 Alabama teens are accused of killing a 14-year-old girl over a fight that started on Facebook. According to Alabama police, a group of girls agreed on Facebook to meet at a local Birmingham park to fight last Friday evening. After several quarrels on social media, the girls posted on Facebook where their fight was going to take place and be videotaped. During the brawl, 2 teenage males, ages 17 and 19, brought out guns and began shooting at the girls. The shots killed Kiara Ona Rice and wounded 2 others who were taken to the hospital. The condition of the 2 wounded has not been released. The shooters have been taken into custody, and investigators believe that one of them was dating a girl involved in the fight. The homicide is still under investigation.
On Sunday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu headed to Washington to press his case against an emerging deal on Iran's nuclear program in a controversial address to the United States Congress, out of concern for Israel's security. This caused an uproar between Democrats and Republicans as they accused each other of injecting too much politics into the event. House Speaker John Boehner invited Netanyahu last month without consulting the White House to a joint address to Congress. This was seen as a diplomatic no-go and exposed tensions between Israel and the United States, its most important ally. Netanyahu's acceptance further angered Democrats, who felt they were forced to choose between showing support for Israel and backing the president. Netanyahu considers unacceptable any deal that does not entirely end Iran's nuclear program. However, President Obama is willing to leave some of the nuclear activities intact, backed by safeguards that Iran is not trying to develop a weapon. Iran insists its program is solely for peaceful, energy, and medical research purposes.
On February 27th, Squire Student Center sponsored History of Hip Hop. Prerana Patak has more on the story.
Hi, I'm Prerana Patak from Tech Tonight, and today we're at Squire Student Center where we will be watching History of Hip Hop, which is sponsored by BSA.
Alliance is hosting Hip Hop 101, hosted by Wes Jackson, and he's the founder of the Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival. And basically he's coming here to give us an awesome presentation about the history of hip-hop.
On February 28th, Black Student Alliance hosted a presentation on the history of hip-hop at Squire Student Center. During this 1-hour session, the speaker, Wes Jackson, discussed multiple topics from his perspective to how hip-hop influences many today. Students were able to explore various reasons hip-hop is used as a form of expression and learn more about a dance form many love. I'm Prerana Patak from Tech Tonight. Back to you.
Thank you, Prerana. The temperature may not have gotten above freezing, but that didn't stop hundreds of people from taking the polar plunge into the New River last week. The icy Highlander polar plunge at Dudley's Landing was all for a good cause, raising money for Southwest Virginia's Special Olympics program. This was the 6th year the community hosted the plunge, and this year set a new record for the number of people in the New River at once. Members of the New River Valley Water Rescue and Recovery Association were close by, wearing protective dry suits as they formed a perimeter around the water, just in case any plungers got a little too cold. At the end of the day, over 300 pairs of Radford students and community members raised over $40,000 for the cause, just $10,000 shy of their fundraising goal. After jumping in the icy water, participants ran to heated tents to get warm. When asked why they braved the cold and took the plunge, the response from participants was unanimous. It was all for a good cause.
On February 25th, Delta Gamma hosted their annual Anchor Splash talent show at Burris Hall. Caroline Fearer was there for the story.
Hi, I'm Caroline Fear with Tech Tonight live from Anchor Splash in Burris Hall.
On Wednesday, February 25th, hundreds of Greek members took the stage in Delta Gamma's annual event, Anchor Splash. Anchor Splash is a 40-year-old tradition that serves as Delta Gamma's philanthropy, otherwise known as Service for Sight. Most of the money raised at Anchor Splash went towards helping those who are visually impaired. Greek organizations were encouraged to rehearse and perform a dance routine. The goal for each group was to win the most points in creativity and style. However, extra points were rewarded when the signature Delta Gamma arm symbol was incorporated into the routine. When talking with a recently new member of Greek Life participant from AD Pi, Cece Fortson had a lot to say about the event, being this was her first time participating.
So Cece, this being your first time participating in Anchor Splash, can you tell us a little bit how, if it met your expectations, if it didn't, like how do you feel about it in general?
Well, actually, it definitely exceeded my expectations. I thought that it wasn't like a huge deal necessarily. Like, I understand that it was philanthropy and everything, but I didn't realize that like so many people were going to come out and see everybody dance. And like, I didn't understand like how serious it was, but it's been like a lot of fun. So it's definitely a bonding experience, like doing something all together. And I've actually met like a bunch of my pledge or whatever sisters that I feel like I never would have met if I hadn't done the dance or gotten to know as well.
Live from Burris Hall, I'm Caroline Fear. Now back to you.
Thank you, Caroline. On Sunday, thousands of Russians marched in Moscow carrying flowers, portraits, and signs that said, "I am not afraid," to mourn opposition politician Boris Nemtsov's death. Nemtsov's slaying on the streets of the capital has shaken Russian struggling opposition. Russian President Vladimir Putin has intimidated his political opponents by jailing them or driving them into exile ever since mass anti-Putin protests swept Moscow in 2011 and 2012. Nemtsov was among the opposition, yet he refused to be intimidated. Nemtsov was gunned down shortly before midnight last Friday. Ilya Yashin, a friend of Nemtsov and fellow opposition's leader, said, quote, "Essentially, it is an act of terror. It is a political murder aimed at frightening the population or the part of the population that supported Nemtsov and did not agree with the government. I hope we won't get scared, that we will continue what Boris is doing." End quote. Nemtsov was killed just hours after a radio interview where he denounced Putin's, quote, "mad, aggressive, and deadly policy of war against Ukraine," end quote. He was working on a report that presented evidence that he believed would prove that Russian servicemen were fighting with the separatists in Ukraine, despite official denials. Kremlin propaganda has identified Nemtsov as among the leaders of a fifth column, painting him as a traitor in the service of a hostile West.
On February 28th, the School of Performing Arts put on the play Fool for Love. Claire Rigney has more on the story.
Hi, I'm Claire Rigney from Tech Tonight, reporting live from Squires Student Center. Tonight, the Squires Studio Theater is showing Fool for Love, a Sam Shepard play about the unrequited, tainted love between two individuals. The play follows their relationship as troubles from the past are unmasked. The main stage production of Fool for Love performed to a sold-out theater. Actors and directors for the play were previewed on a television screen in front of the studio theater, giving people a glimpse as the audience members shuffled in. Katie Nguyen, the stage manager for Fool for Love, thought that night's performance was a huge success.
Yes, I'm so happy with tonight. Things, if anything, there were like tiny hiccups that would not have been noticeable and things that could be easily fixed and just, you know what I mean? It's nothing that was like big, and I thought it was really, really great. I mean, everything backstage went smoothly, everything in the booth went smoothly, and I think the actors were very present in the moment. My job basically is about getting everyone to communicate with each other and get everything together. It's kind of the center of like the spider web that is everything. So you have the designers and you have like our director, dramaturg, people who work on the show and have a piece in the show, and my job is to get them all on the same page.
People could buy their tickets online or at the ticket booth on the first floor of Squires.
I think the second part, I love the way Martin played his role. I thought it felt real to me. It felt that I was actually watching the real life rather than a story.
This play is one of the School of Performing Arts' main stage productions. The next main stage production is A Midsummer Night's Dream, opening in mid-April. Reporting live from Squires Student Center, I'm Claire Rigney. Back to you.
Thank you, Claire. Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital nurse Nina Pham filed a lawsuit Monday against the hospital's parent company for corporate neglect. Pham is one of two nurses who contracted Ebola last fall after caring for Thomas Eric Duncan, the first person to be diagnosed with Ebola in the U.S. Her lawsuit comes after the hospital made her a, quote, symbol of corporate neglect a casualty of a hospital system's failure to prepare for a known and impending medical crisis, end quote. She alleges that Texas Presbyterian lacked the proper training and equipment to face the disease, all while making her the voice of the fight against the disease without her permission. After several rounds of experimental treatments and constant care, Pham is now Ebola-free. But she now lives in fear that the disease will never truly leave her, for the nightmares, body aches, and insomnia are all continuous reminders of all the turmoil she has been through.
Kentucky Senator Rand Paul won the Conservative Political Action Conference, or CPAC, straw poll for potential GOP White House candidate for the third year in a row. The poll was conducted over the conference's 3 days of seminars and speeches by potential Republican candidates. CPAC organizers said that over 11,000 people attended the event in Ox Mill, Maryland, that about 3,000 people participated in the poll, and that 44% of the voters were students. Rand Paul said, quote, "Our party is filled with constitutional conservatives who have chosen to stand with me for a third consecutive straw poll victory. Since President Ronald Reagan, the conference has been a gold standard on where conservatives stand. The constitutional conservatives of our party have spoken in a loud, clear voice today," end quote. Paul finished with 26% of the vote, ahead of Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, who finished with 21% of the vote.
You may want to start counting your hours instead of sheep when it comes to sleep. A new study has come out saying that long hours of sleep may be linked to a greater chance of having a stroke. According to the study published online in Cambridge University's Neurology Journal, adults who sleep more than 8 hours a night are 46% more likely to have a stroke than those who sleep 6 to 8 hours. Researchers are saying that 7 to 8 hours of sleep is ideal for heart health among adults 18 to 64 years old. However, researchers have stated that they are not certain if long sleep is a cause, consequence, or warning sign of declining brain health. This is not the first study to suggest the correlation between sleep and risk of stroke. However, this study focused more on the relationship between sleep duration and stroke risk. More research studies are in the works for scientists to reach a definitive conclusion.
Let's take a moment for our weekly forecast with Tyler Tharp.
Good evening, Virginia Tech. I'm Tyler Tharp with your weekly weather report. I am bringing you your special spring break forecast. According to the latest forecast models, it looks like we will be having another cold weekend. Tonight, temperatures will drop into the mid-20s. Looking on to Saturday, things will start to change throughout the day. We will have highs in the upper 40s with temperature maxing out around 49 degrees. There will be plenty of sunshine, but it will not be warm enough to spend the day outside. Thus later on in the evening, temperatures will drop off once again into the mid-20s. Sunday's forecast is shaping up to be very similar to Saturday's with a high of 47 and a low of 26. Next week brings us some exciting news. Monday, Blacksburg will start to heat up. Spring is just days away. We will have sunny and clear skies with highs breaking into the low 50s. Monday evening will be chilly as temperatures will dip once again into the 20s. This will trend on through Wednesday, where highs will reach about 62 degrees with scattered clouds. If you're hanging around town for spring break, it will definitely be nice to put away the winter gear and venture outside as spring break begins. I hope everyone has a fun and safe spring break. This has been your special Tech Tonight spring break forecast. I'm Tyler Tharp. Now back to you.
Thank you, Tyler. Prosecutors from the Bristol County District Attorney's Office in Massachusetts said that Michelle Carter encouraged Conrad Roy to kill himself last July. Last Friday, Carter was charged with involuntary manslaughter, a charge punishable up to 20 years in prison, after she allegedly convinced a fellow teen to take his own life. Roy drove his truck to a Kmart parking lot with a gas generator and took his own life. He died from carbon monoxide poisoning. At one point, Roy got out of his truck and texted Carter telling her he wasn't sure he could go through with it. Carter texted back, quote, "Get back in," end quote. Greg Milliot, a spokesperson for the Bristol County DA, said, quote, "Instead of attempting to assist him or notify school officials, a counselor, a family member, anyone, Ms. Carter is alleged to have strongly influenced his decision to take his own life, encouraged him on multiple occasions to commit suicide, and guided him through the process, including the engage of activities that ultimately led to his death." Carter was released on a $2,500 bond and ordered to stay off social media until her next court appearance on April 17th. Stay tuned for your news around Virginia Tech.
Hi, I'm Rachel Thompson.
And I'm Melissa Cisneros with your news around Virginia Tech.
The fire safety systems of 10 buildings on campus will be renovated by spring 2017. The $5.5 million project has officially begun. Funding is provided by the Virginia General Assembly. The only building approved for an upgrade by the state government, however, is the Institute for Society, Culture, and Environment. This building will most likely be completed in April, according to the Collegiate Times. The Food Science and Technology Building and the Architecture Annex are in the process of being approved and will most likely be completed this summer. Communications manager Robert Spildenners told the CT that, quote, the buildings met the fire code when they were built, but technology has improved since then, end quote. The new upgrades include new fire alarms, better smoke detectors, and improved alarm panels. Though these buildings will be undergoing upgrades, it's important to know that the current fire safety systems still work well. Spildenners says there is nothing, quote, nothing to worry about, end quote.
Have you guys ever wanted to learn how to dance salsa or know how to dance salsa but don't have anywhere to showcase salsa moves? Well, Salsa Tech, an organization here at Tech, hosts a salsa night every Wednesday starting at 9:30 at Sycamore Deli. It is located in downtown Blacksburg before getting to the Lyric. Join the fun with a partner or not, but if it is your first time dancing, don't fret because from 9:30 to 10, the instructors have a quick beginner's lesson so everyone can feel confident when dancing. The Salsa Night also features other Latin American music such as bachata, merengue, and even reggaeton. Since the event is free, do consider helping Sycamore Deli for allowing the Salsa Nights to be there. For more information, Salsa Tech has a Facebook page, and they also have event pages for the Salsa Nights in order to keep everyone updated whenever.
Are you interested in weather patterns? The Virginia Tech Office of Emergency Management is teaming up with the National Weather Service Office to sponsor a class for interested students. The Basic Skywarn Spotter Training class will be held Tuesday, March 17th at 6:30 in the Cascades Room at the Inn at Virginia Tech. A meteorologist will be present to discuss thunderstorms, safety, and reporting procedures. The class is free, open to the public, and doesn't require registration. Becoming a volunteer Skywarn spotter allows you to protect your community from nature. As the National Weather Service's website says, quote, the main responsibility of a Skywarn spotter is to identify and describe severe local storms, end quote. This program has been in place since the 1970s, and it has generated impressive data that allows citizens to receive weather warnings in a more timely manner. For more information, visit emergency.vt.edu. You can also learn more about the Skywarn program by Googling NWS Skywarn.
As graduation for the seniors get closer, Virginia Tech realizes that it may be hard for families who are coming from far away to stay in a hotel for the week. Their solution is to offer on-campus lodging and dining packages for the families and guests of the graduating students from May 14 to May 17. The reservations can be made online, and the rooms with air conditioning or suite style will be lottery-based. The entries will be accepted until March 24. The participants will be informed on March 27 if they have been picked for those rooms. Reservations for rooms without air conditioning will be taken until May 4. There will be also limited meal packages to D2, so sign up quickly if that is something your family want to do. According to the lodging time, the prices range from $200 to $300 in traditional rooms, which include 2 dinner and breakfast meal cards. For air-conditioned rooms, the prices range from $300 to $400 and include the meals as well. The most expensive rooms are the suite style because they include their own bathrooms. Those rooms range from $500 to $1,000.
Virginia Tech Electric Service announced last week that some customers were receiving phone scams. According to VT News, quote, customers have reported receiving phone calls threatening to disconnect power unless payment was made over the phone, end quote. It's important to know that the company would never request money on the phone. This phone scam is similar in nature to another one that the Virginia Tech Police reported last month. Aimed primarily toward international students, this phone scam consists of someone pretending to be from a law enforcement agency demanding money. VT News says that if the victim refuses to give the caller money, then the caller threatens that, quote, harsh action will be taken toward the victim or the victim's family, end quote. However, no law enforcement agency would demand money in this way. Be aware of the personal information you may give out on the phone. You can download the LiveSafe app on your smartphone to receive the latest crime alerts from the VT Police.
Last week, did you guys notice the amount of campaigning going on? Well, this past Monday, March 2nd, the class of 2018 had their class elections. There were 8 positions open, which were class president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, historian, cadet member at large, female member at large, and male member at large. The presidency position was the most competitive with 12 members running. The whole group becomes part of the Alumni Association, which means they are their positions for life. So they will be in charge of providing alumni network, coordinating activities to advance the university's academic, administration, athletics, research, and outreach programs. The mission of the Alumni Association is for the association to be a linkage to alumni across the world and to keep them integrated in Virginia Tech's missions and to attract them to serve the university like our motto, E Prosum. It definitely is a hard task to serve, but all the candidates show they are passionate for the future of the school.
A U.S. News & World Report ranking placed Virginia Tech among the top 100 best global universities. This list encompasses universities that are able to successfully attract international students. Engineering is Tech's highest rated ranking at 64, while plant and animal science is ranked 80. This elite list of universities focuses on academic research. According to VT News, the list attempts to, quote, quantify 3 factors: global and regional reputation, research performance based on citations and publications, and data on faculty and PhD graduates. End quote. Tech's overall ranking is number 248 out of 500 universities. President Timothy D. Sands has already reached a goal he mentioned in his 2014 installation speech. He said Virginia Tech, quote, will become a top 100 global institution, end quote, by 2022. Now that Virginia Tech has reached the list of best global universities, Vice President for Outreach and International Affairs Guru Ghosh says, quote, we are on the path toward global distinction, end quote.
On March 21st, the Apex Systems Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship will be holding a Union Innovation Challenge. The union created this challenge to inspire enterprising minds to help the environment and have clean energy. The candidates who enter will propose an idea on how to obtain and manage a clean energy source. One of the members of the group must be a business major in order to participate in this challenge. The participants will be graded on the product or service they propose, on the target market, the innovation helps the customer, a sales marketing strategy, and a statement of the competitive outlook of the product or service. The winners will win $7,500 in order to fund their proposal. Second place winners will win $2,500. The top 5 ideas will be displayed in an evening ceremony featuring the university faculty and alumni. Stay tuned for your entertainment news.
Hi, I'm Megan Gray.
And I'm Marissa Handerhan with your entertainment news.
On February 27th, Kelly Osbourne left Fashion Police after serving as co-host since 2010. Osbourne had threatened to quit the show after co-host Juliana Rancic mocked the dreadlocks Disney star Zendaya wore to the Academy Awards. Osbourne tweeted that she didn't, quote, condone racism, end quote, and that an apology for Zendaya would be necessary for her to stay with Fashion Police. After Zendaya accepted Rancic's apology, Osbourne seemed to cool down, but Osbourne hasn't commented on whether her departure was related to Rancic's remarks. An E representative said, quote, Kelly Osbourne's departing's E Fashion Police to pursue other opportunities, and we would like to thank her for her many contributions to the series over the past 5 years, during which the show became a hit with the viewers, end quote.
The Blacksburg Square Dance organization will be hosting their March Dance this Saturday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Virginia Tech YMCA. The admission fee is only $5 and it features music from a live band, the New River Stoneflies. Guests also get the opportunity to listen to fiddlers Scott Nelson and Mike Burns play. The dance is a family and student-friendly environment that welcomes both square dancing enthusiasts and curious beginners alike. To attend the event, no experience or square dancing partner is necessary. Square dancing caller instructor Ben Nelson will teach the participants the ropes of the dance. Come out for a fun-filled evening and be prepared to dance the night away. Typically, dance events are held on the first Saturday of each month, but to find other exciting square dance opportunities and workshops, visit www.daretobesquare.org.
On February 26, students and faculty gathered in the Shanks Hall atrium in an attempt to break the Guinness World Record for the most hugs given by one mascot in 1 minute. The standing record to be broken was 75 hugs set by a United Kingdom group. The Hokies broke the record with 85 hugs. The Students Public Relations Student Society of America Bateman team at Virginia Tech hosted the Hug the Hokie event. Kelly McBride, advisor of Tech's Communication Department Bateman team, shared her thoughts on the event, stating that, quote, "The event went great because the Hokie community can always pull through," end quote. In addition, McBride added that, quote, "By having people participate in the Bateman team, we can show how great our public relations program is," end quote. All participants departed the Hug the Hokie event feeling accomplished because they were a part of making Hokie history.
Khloe Kardashian's workout addiction is paying off. The reality star showcases her taunt abs in a recent Instagram post, where the celebrity is seen folding her gym shorts down to reveal a flat tummy. The caption says, quote, "Hi baby abs, I see you. I hope to meet your other ab friends soon. Yes, I'm talking about my muscles. I've never met most of them before." The star's obsession with fitness dates back to about a year ago, around the time her sister Kim Kardashian's biting comment about her weight aired on a December episode of Kourtney and Khloe Take the Hamptons. Kim Kardashian told Scott Disick and Kourtney Kardashian that Khloe's butt was huge and that she should lose a few pounds. The star frequently works out 3 to 4 times a week and recommends starting out slow to fitness newbies. The celebrity says, quote, "Working out is a huge part of my life now. I genuinely enjoy sweating out my frustrations and living a healthier lifestyle." The Kardashians keep her curves while whittling her waist with the help of a waist training corset. Kardashian says, quote, "I'm not where I want to be, and who knows if I ever will be, but I'm healthier than ever due to my consistent workouts. I am slowly seeing results."
On February 27th, Leonard Simon Nimoy, Star Trek Spock, passed away at age 83. His wife Susan Bay and his 2 children by his first wife, Sandra Zober, survive him. The cause of death was chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, according to his granddaughter, Natalie Nimoy. Leonard Nimoy was born in Boston and was raised by his Russian immigrant parents. After growing up in an Orthodox Jewish family, he incorporated his religious affiliation into his role in Star Trek by using a hand gesture with the phrase, quote, "Live long and prosper," end quote. Nimoy's career consisted of stage acting, guest starring, writing poems, photography, and acting in movies and television shows. However, Nimoy is mostly known for playing Spock, which is a Vulcan native with pointed ears and an unemotional demeanor. His Star Trek co-star, William Shatner, expressed sadness when passing when tweeting, quote, "I love him like a brother. We will all miss his humor, his talent, and his capacity to love," end quote.
A stolen Grammy dress is found. Lupita Nyong'o's missing Calvin Klein collection gown is found in the bathroom sink of the London West Hollywood Hotel, the same one that she had stayed at during its disappearance. The dress was snatched directly from Nyong'o's hotel room. According to an anonymous tip from the thief to TMZ reporters, he threw the dress off of the balcony to avoid surveillance cameras, but hastily returned it once the pearls on it proved to be fake. The thief gave TMZ a map to where the dress could be recovered. With the dress returned to the scene of the crime, authorities can rest easy that the estimated $150,000 dress is safe. The dress's creator, Francisco Costa, is thrilled by the news, stating, quote, "Once it's returned to us, we will be able to have the dress restored and archived, as it now represents an important moment for the brand." Stay tuned for your sports news.
Hi, I'm Lexi Johnson.
And I'm Michael Esposito with your sports news.
UFC fighter Ronda Rousey competed in the UFC 184 Championship this past Saturday against Kat Zingano. Rousey recorded the fastest finish of her career, knocking out Zingano in only 14 seconds. She's been outstanding in competitions lately and is now 11-0 in mixed martial arts and 5-0 in UFC fights. Rousey's previous record was 16 seconds, and after cutting 2 seconds off that time, she now holds the record for the fastest title fight in UFC history.
It's been about a month since the Super Bowl, but more importantly, it's been about a month since the Seahawks opted to not give the football to running back Marshawn Lynch on the doorstep of the New England end zone in Super Bowl 49. A video has surfaced showing Lynch explaining his position on the most scrutinized play call in league history. Under a frustratingly loud translation of his comments when he was traveling in Turkey, the video includes Lynch's reaction to the decision to throw the ball and to not let him run it in with the NFL title on the line. Quote, "To be honest with you, I would be a liar if I didn't tell you that I was expecting the ball," Lynch said. "I think I was more of a, how do I say this, when you look at me and you let me run the ball in, I'm the face of the nation. You know, the MVP of the Super Bowl, that's pretty much the face of the nation. At that point in time, I don't know what went into that call. Maybe it was a good thing I didn't get the ball. I mean, it did cost us the Super Bowl, end quote. Not too far between the lines of Lynch's response lurks the notion that he buys into the popular conspiracy theory, misguided as it may be, that the team wanted quarterback Russell Wilson and not Lynch to be the Super Bowl MVP and in turn the face of the NFL. But here's the thing about conspiracy theories. Doesn't matter if they're true, it only matters if people believe them to be true. If Lynch and other Seahawks players believe that the team chose to throw and not to run in order to prevent Lynch from becoming the MVP of the Super Bowl, and in turn the face of the nation, Coach Pete Carroll will have plenty of additional work to do to get the players to turn the page on the 2014 season, try to climb back out of the valley of 0-2 in 2015 for a shot at the third straight Super Bowl appearance.
The Tech baseball team has gotten off to a slow start after only 3 weekends of play. Recording a record of 6-5 this past weekend, the Hokies traveled to Myrtle Beach and played 4 games against the Toledo Rockets. The Hokies had an overall successful weekend, claiming the series 3-1. Tech's pitchers showed some promise. The Hokies were successful behind some great performances from redshirt junior John Woodcock and sophomore Luke Scherzer. The Hokies' only loss this weekend was a close 1-0 ball game. The baseball team is scheduled to play again against the College of Charleston this upcoming week and will be playing at English Field right here in Blacksburg if weather permits.
The Virginia Tech football team is participating in a weightlifting challenge as part of Hokies Helping Heroes initiative and inviting fans to pledge a certain amount of money per pound lifted in the bench press during the team's winter testing. All proceeds from the challenge will go to the Lone Survivor Foundation. U.S. Navy SEAL Marcus Luttrell established the Lone Survivor Foundation in 2010. The foundation's mission is to restore, empower, and renew hope for U.S. combat service members and their families. This foundation does this by providing educational, therapeutic, and wellness opportunities for combat service members and their families. The Virginia Tech football team will work to bring in money by showing their strength and showing their support. Fans will be able to pick a player in the contest and agree to pledge a certain amount of money per pound the player will lift. Pledges over $75 will receive a Virginia Tech Strength and Conditioning shirt with the slogan, "Never quit on those who never quit on us." The football team's testing in the bench press is scheduled for March 3rd. While the venue is not open to the public, Hokiesports.com will be filming an event and uploading for all to see. Virginia Tech football team is a model for our motto, Up Prosum, as they prove that what they do off the field can have just as big, or if not bigger, impact.
Major League Baseball is just around the corner for all the baseball fans, and spring training is well underway. The Cactus League, better known as the National League, is hosting their spring training all across cities in Arizona. On the other hand, the Grapefruit League, better known as the American League, is hosting their spring training across various cities in Florida. Spring training is a tradition in Major League Baseball where some of the big-name players can show off their off-season preparations. Opening day for the Major Leaguers is March 31st.
Former NHL defenseman Steve Montador died at age 35. He was found dead at his home at 2 a.m. on February 15th. Police do not suspect foul play. Montador last performed in the NHL for the Chicago Blackhawks in the 2011-2012 season. He played 571 regular season games, spread out between the Calgary Flames, Florida Panthers, Buffalo Sabres, Anaheim Ducks, Boston Bruins, and of course the Blackhawks. Many remember him most from the time when the Flames, as he appeared in 20 postseason games during the Calgary's memorable run to the 2004 Stanley Cup Final. He spent 2013 and 2014 season in the KHL and spoke with CSNChicago.com about his struggles with depression, concussion symptoms back in March 2013. Quote, "I can see why people have a hard time with a number of different things and being taken away from something they love to do and not sure if you'd ever get back the chance. There's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear, and a lot of anxiety and depression that comes with that," end quote. Montador said, quote, "I've had a lot of help through that. I feel like I've taken the right steps. Concussions are a growing concern for many major sports today, such as hockey and football. No confirmation has been made whether his history of concussions has something to do with his death. Montador offered to donate his brain in order to conduct research about concussions and brain injuries." Many old teammates and friends of Montador expressed their sadness over their fallen companion over social media. Joakim Nordstrom tweeted, quote, "Rest in peace, Steve Montador. You took such a good care of me my very first couple of weeks overseas. Forever thankful," end quote. That's all for Tech Tonight. I'm Michael Esposito.
And I'm Lexi Johnson. Tune in next week.